What if I told you that something you do every single morning, probably within the first 30 minutes of waking up, could be silently tripling your risk of having a stroke, especially if you're over 60? I'm not talking about smoking or drinking or eating junk food. I'm talking about something so ordinary, so automatic, that you probably did it this very morning without giving it a second thought. Picture this: you wake up, your alarm goes off, and you immediately jump out of bed to start your day. Sound familiar? Maybe you even feel proud of that quick start, like you're still young, still energetic. But what seems like normal morning energy could actually be putting your brain in serious danger. Here's why this matters so much, and why I need you to listen carefully. After age 60, your blood vessels aren't as flexible as they once were. Your heart doesn't respond to sudden changes the way it used to. And that morning routine you've been doing the same way for decades? It might now be working against you. The scary part? Most people have no idea they're doing anything wrong. In the next 18 minutes, I'm going to reveal the 5 most dangerous morning mistakes that dramatically increase stroke risk after 60. More importantly, I'll show you exactly how to fix them starting tomorrow morning. And here's the thing that really worries me: mistake number 3 is so common that 8 out of 10 people over 60 do it without thinking twice. Before we dive in, comment "morning check" if you want to learn how to protect your brain every single morning. And if this information could help someone you care about, a parent, a spouse, a friend, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss life-saving health tips from Elderly Health Central. So let's dive right into the first mistake, and I want you to really think about whether this sounds like you or someone you love. Mistake number 1, the jump start wake up. I've seen this pattern countless times in my years working with older adults: the person who prides themselves on being a quick starter, someone who hears their alarm and immediately bounces out of bed, ready to take on the world. These are often the most health-conscious people, the ones who think they're showing their vitality by jumping up quickly. But what I've observed is that these same individuals are the ones who end up in emergency rooms with morning strokes. You know who I'm talking about, right? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's your spouse who says, "I don't need time to wake up, I'm ready to go." Maybe it's your parent who's always been proud of their energy and their ability to get moving right away. They see it as a sign of strength, of still being young at heart. Here's what happens in your body when you go from lying flat to standing quickly after age 60, and this is going to shock you: your blood pressure can spike by 20 to 40 points in seconds. Think about that for a moment: 20 to 40 points. Your heart has to work overtime to pump blood to your brain against gravity, and your aging arteries can't adjust as smoothly as they used to. This sudden pressure surge can cause existing plaques in your arteries to rupture or dislodge. That's a stroke waiting to happen. Most people think that jumping out of bed shows they're still young and energetic. I understand that feeling: nobody wants to feel old or slow. But here's the truth: your cardiovascular system doesn't care about your enthusiasm. It doesn't care how young you feel in your mind. It needs time to adjust, especially in the morning when your blood is naturally thicker and your blood pressure is at its daily peak. So what do you do instead? Try what I call the 3-2-1 morning transition. When your alarm goes off, sit on the edge of your bed for 3 deep breaths. Then stand slowly and wait for 2 more deep breaths. Then take 1 final breath and walk normally. This simple routine gives your circulatory system time to adjust safely. It might feel like you're moving slower, but you're actually protecting your brain. And speaking of blood pressure spikes, the next mistake I see people make involves something they think is helping their health, but it's actually making their stroke risk even worse. Mistake number 2, morning exercise without the safety buffer. Time and again, I've encountered the dedicated morning exerciser, usually someone in their 60s or 70s who's committed to staying active. They wake up, immediately put on their workout clothes, and head straight out for their daily walk or gym session. These people are doing exactly what we tell them to do for their health, yet I've seen too many of them suffer cardiovascular events during or shortly after their morning exercise routine. The pattern is always the same. Great intentions, zero preparation. If this is you, please don't stop exercising. Exercise is crucial for your health. But the way you're doing it might be putting you in danger, and I need you to understand why. Morning exercise sounds healthy, and it can be, but not the way most people over 60 do it. Between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m., your blood pressure is naturally 20% higher than the rest of the day. Your blood platelets are stickier, making clots more likely. When you add sudden intense exercise to this already dangerous mix, you're creating the perfect storm for stroke. People think that because they feel fine during morning exercise, they're safe. But here's something that might surprise you: strokes don't always happen during the activity. They often occur hours later when the damage has been done. Many also believe that any exercise is automatically good, but timing and preparation matter more than intensity after 60. So if you exercise in the morning, create what I call a 15-minute safety buffer. Start with 5 minutes of gentle stretching, nothing intense, just gentle movements to wake up your muscles. Drink 8 ounces of water. Then do 5 minutes of light movement like walking in place or gentle arm circles. Then, and only then, begin your actual workout at 50% intensity for the first 5 minutes before ramping up. But here's where it gets really concerning. The next mistake is something most people do while they're still in bed, and it's probably the most dangerous one yet. Mistake number 3, the instant check phone habit. This habit has become epidemic in recent years, and I've witnessed its effects firsthand: the person who reaches for their phone before their feet even hit the floor. They're often retirees who want to stay connected with family, or people who feel they need to check emails immediately. What strikes me most is how these individuals often report feeling anxious or overwhelmed first thing in the morning, but they never connect it to their phone habits. I've seen this simple action contribute to morning hypertensive crises more often than people realize. Let me paint you a picture of what's happening in your body when you do this. When you check your phone first thing in the morning, especially emails or news, your brain interprets this information as immediate threats that need responses. It doesn't matter if it's just a notification about a sale at your favorite store or an email from your grandchild, your brain treats it as urgent. This triggers a release of cortisol and adrenaline, stress hormones that cause your blood pressure to spike and your heart rate to increase. After 60, your arteries are less able to handle these sudden chemical surges, especially when combined with the natural morning blood pressure peak. Most people think that lying in bed while checking their phone is relaxing and harmless. I hear this all the time: but I'm just lying there, how can that be stressful? They don't realize that their brain doesn't distinguish between physical and emotional stress. Both trigger the same dangerous cardiovascular responses. Many also check their phone to wake up naturally, not knowing they're actually shocking their system awake. Here's what I want you to try instead: the golden hour rule. No screens for the first hour after waking. I know that sounds impossible in today's world, but use this time for gentle stretching, light movement, hydration, and mindful breathing. If you absolutely must check something urgent, wait until after you've been upright and moving for at least 30 minutes. Now, this next mistake is one that many people's doctors actually recommend, but when done wrong in the morning, it becomes incredibly dangerous. Mistake number 4, morning medication stacking. I've worked with countless patients who are model medication adherents, the type of person who never misses a dose and follows their doctor's instructions to the letter. But I've noticed a dangerous pattern. They take all their morning medications at once, usually with their first cup of coffee, because it's efficient and they won't forget anything. These are often people on multiple cardiovascular medications, and I've observed that this well-intentioned habit creates dangerous blood pressure swings that can trigger stroke within hours. Many people over 60 take multiple medications that affect their cardiovascular system: blood pressure medications, cholesterol medications, blood thinners. When you take them all at once in the morning, you're creating overlapping peak effects that can cause dangerous blood pressure fluctuations. Blood pressure medications can cause sudden drops, while getting up and moving can cause spikes. This combination creates an unstable cardiovascular environment where stroke risk increases dramatically. People think that taking all medications at once ensures they won't forget any doses, and many believe that morning is always the best time for medication. I understand this thinking, it seems logical and organized. But the reality is that medication timing needs to be coordinated with your body's natural rhythms and your other morning activities to avoid dangerous interactions. Work with your doctor or pharmacist to create what I call a staggered schedule. Take blood pressure medications 30 minutes before getting up, other medications 30 minutes after eating breakfast, and always wait at least 45 minutes after any medication before intense physical activity. Keep a simple medication tracker to ensure nothing is missed. And here's the final mistake that ties all of these together, it's something that makes every other morning risk factor worse. Mistake number 5, the dehydration trap. Over the years, I've noticed this pattern in almost every older adult I work with. They're diligent about hydration during the day, but completely ignore their morning dehydration status. These are people who drink plenty of water after lunch, who carry water bottles, who know hydration is important. But every single morning, they wake up after 8 hours without fluids and immediately reach for coffee or tea. I've seen this chronic morning dehydration contribute to stroke risk in ways that most people never consider, because the effects are invisible until it's too late. After 7 to 9 hours without any fluid intake, your blood volume decreases and becomes more concentrated, essentially thicker. Thick blood is harder for your heart to pump and more likely to form clots. When you add the natural morning blood pressure spike to already thick blood, you're creating ideal conditions for stroke. Coffee and tea actually make this worse because caffeine is a diuretic that causes further dehydration. Many people think that feeling thirsty is the first sign of dehydration, but by the time you feel thirsty, you're already significantly dehydrated. Others believe that coffee counts as morning hydration, not realizing that caffeine actually works against proper hydration. Some people avoid morning water because they don't want to interrupt their routine with bathroom breaks. Start every morning with 16 to 20 ounces of room temperature water before anything else, before coffee, before getting dressed, before checking anything. Keep a large water bottle by your bedside and drink half of it immediately upon waking. Wait at least 30 minutes before consuming caffeine, and add a pinch of sea salt to your morning water to help with absorption. Now that you know these 5 dangerous morning mistakes, let's talk about what this really means for you and your loved ones. I know this information might feel overwhelming. Maybe you recognized yourself in one or more of these mistakes, and that's scary. You might be sitting there thinking, I've been doing these things for years, have I already damaged my health? Or perhaps you're thinking about a spouse, parent, or loved one who does these exact things every morning. Maybe your heart is racing a little bit right now because you realize you've been making several of these mistakes without knowing it. The fear is real, and it's valid. I've had people tell me they felt angry after learning this information, angry that no one had told them before, angry that they'd been putting themselves at risk unknowingly. Others have told me they felt guilty, like they should have known better. If you're feeling any of these emotions right now, I want you to know that's completely normal and understandable. But here's what I want you to understand, and this is the most important thing I'm going to say in this entire video: knowledge is protection. Every single one of these mistakes is completely fixable starting tomorrow morning. Your body is incredibly resilient, and even small changes can dramatically reduce your stroke risk within weeks. Instead of feeling helpless about aging, you now have specific, actionable steps that can help protect your brain for years to come. You're not powerless here. You're not a victim of your age or your genetics or your past habits. You have control, and that control starts with what you do tomorrow morning. Tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to prepare for a safer morning. Put a large glass of water on your nightstand. Set your phone to charge in another room, yes, another room, not just on the other side of your bed. Talk to your doctor about the best timing for your medications. These aren't complicated changes. They're simple shifts that could literally save your life. And if you have a spouse or aging parent, share this information with them. Don't wait for the right moment or worry about seeming pushy. Their morning routine could be putting them at risk right now, and you have the power to help them. Remember, it's never too late to start protecting your health. Every morning is a new opportunity to choose habits that support your brain and cardiovascular system. With these simple changes, you can wake up each day knowing you're actively reducing your stroke risk and taking control of your health. So let's recap today's life-saving information, because I want to make sure you walk away with crystal clear action steps. First, avoid jumping out of bed quickly. Remember that 3-2-1 morning transition I talked about. Second, create a safety buffer before morning exercise with gentle stretching, hydration, and gradual warm-up. Third, delay phone checking for the golden hour. Keep those screens away from your bedside. Fourth, stagger your medications properly by working with your doctor to spread them throughout your morning routine. And fifth, prioritize morning hydration with 16 to 20 ounces of water before anything else. If you're making any of these mistakes, you now know exactly how to fix them. I'm really curious, and I hope you'll share with me, which of these 5 morning mistakes surprised you the most? Was it the phone habit that you never considered dangerous? Was it the medication timing that your doctor never mentioned? Or maybe it was learning that jumping out of bed could actually be putting your brain at risk? And here's an important question that I really want you to think about. What's one morning habit you're committed to changing starting tomorrow? Not next week, not next month, but tomorrow morning. Share in the comments below because your experience might help someone else protect their health. When you share your commitment publicly, you're also more likely to follow through on it. Maybe you're going to put that water bottle by your bedside tonight. Maybe you're going to move your phone charger to the kitchen. Maybe you're going to set your alarm 5 minutes earlier so you have time for that safety buffer before exercise. Whatever it is, I want to hear about it. If this video opened your eyes to morning habits you never considered dangerous, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Elderly Health Central. We're here to help you navigate health decisions with confidence, and every week we share information that could make a real difference in your life or the life of someone you love. Hit that notification bell too, so you never miss potentially life-saving health tips. And here's something exciting. I'm putting together a complete morning safety checklist that you can print out and put on your nightstand. If you want that free checklist, let me know in the comments. Thank you for taking these important minutes to invest in your health today. Remember, small morning changes can lead to big health improvements. Stay informed, stay proactive, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll discuss the warning signs your body gives you before a stroke. Information that could help you or a loved one get life-saving help in time.